Mr. Speaker, we recently received some good news, as the United States Supreme Court has decided to hear a case called City of Grants Pass versus Johnson, which could mark a turning point for the homelessness crisis in California. And just to provide some context, let's consider the full breadth of that crisis. It's been 20 years since Governor Newsom rolled out his plan, then mayor of San Francisco at the time, to end homelessness in San Francisco within a decade. It's now been 20 years since he announced that. And this anniversary happened to coincide with the Department of Housing and Urban Development's annual homelessness report to Congress. Among the findings of the HUD report are that California has the highest homelessness rate of any state. California has had a 30.5% increase in homelessness from 2007 to 2023. That's the highest increase of any state. California accounts for 28% of America's homeless, and about 50%, that's half of the nation's unsheltered homeless. San Francisco, for its part, has had the second highest percent of unsheltered homeless youth and unsheltered veterans of any city in the country. So there are a lot of reasons for these appalling statistics and the tragic realities that they represent. It is political failure, where we have had policies dealing with crime, for example, that have released many people from prisons too early and don't have appropriate consequences for criminal activity. There is our state's soaring cost of living that is a result of many different political failures. There's the inadequacy of our state's approach to mental health and substance abuse. And then there is the complete wastefulness and lack of accountability when it comes to the billions and billions and billions of dollars that are being spent at the state and local level to address the homelessness crisis. In fact, as the state has continued to spend more and more and more, many, many times more than it has ever spent, the homelessness problem has only continued to get worse. And there, in fact, is an audit coming in California that's finally going to look at homelessness spending. But on top of all of these political and policy failures, there have been significant judicial impediments to dealing with the homelessness crisis. And that is a series of decisions by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, beginning with the Boise case and its progeny, that have made it difficult, if not impossible, to enforce anti-camping ordinances and to otherwise clear out homelessness encampments from public spaces. And if you talk to city leaders, county leaders, leaders of municipalities across California, they will tell you that this line of cases is the bane of their existence, that it is a significant obstacle in the way of common sense policies for dealing with homelessness. So the Supreme Court has now taken up this case, and I am very hopeful that the court is going to do the right thing, that it's going to restore the proper authority to local officials to deal with homelessness in public spaces. The initial line of cases that the court will be examining is based on a very distorted view of the Eighth Amendment, and so I believe that the legal argument here is one that will coincide with what's best from a policy perspective. So I'll be urging the court to make the right decision here, but at the same time, if and when the court does that, when it provides these new tools to folks at the local level, we finally need to have the political accountability for our state leaders to address homelessness in the right way, so that we don't now, 20 years from now, another 20 years from now, continue to set the standard for having the most homelessness of any state in the entire country.